Alright. Sige. So, thank you for listening to this new episode, everyone. Recording this on the first week of us having lockdown here in Metro Manila. So, I hope everyone's doing fine. Hope everyone's doing well. Alright, sige. So, I'd like to start off this particular episode with a few stories now, as I always do. A few stories. It was when I was younger. No, so when I was younger, I've been a big pop fan ever since. Pop fan talaga ako, particularly growing up in the 90s, syempre mga boy bands. No? One thing I loved to do, even as I got older, was to lip sync Backstreet Boys songs. Ganyan. But, yan, hanggang dun lang. Lip sync lang ako, play ko siya sa cassette tape at the time, tapos lip sync lang. Uso naman na yung video, but I came across the idea of doing my own music video while lip syncing, but I didn't. I thought it was in my head funny siya, pero the thought of shooting that video, putting it together, putting it out there into the world, wala, hindi pa sikat yung YouTube nun eh, pero isip ko, stupid idea. Okay, sige. I had a lot of stupid ideas, I believe, when I was younger. No? I remember having this, nagkukwentuhan lang kami ng friends ko, tapos sabi ko, uy, gawa tayong business idea, kung na babayaran mo ako para pumila sa McDo. Tapos, dadaling ko yung food mo. Ganyan. Or sa Burger King, for example, bayaran mo ako, punta ang Burger King, bayano. It's a stupid idea, just laughed it off. Another stupid idea we had before, or I had before was, so I play guitar kasi I was sort of trained in classical guitar. And then one thing I did nung mga high school was to take some of the pop songs, particularly yung mga maingay na song, party songs, rock songs, tapos gagawin ko siyang acoustic. No? Play ko lang siya. And I thought it was cool, pero hanggang dun lang. Hindi ko siya nilabas or anything. And then eventually, for all those kwentos, no, nung sumikat si YouTube, sumikat din yung dalawang Chinese who did lip sync ng Backstreet Boys. Yung delivery, yung joke ko na I'll pay me tapos I'll buy you from certain restaurants. Well, at the time, naging si 212112. And then ngayon, we have Grab Food, Lala Food, Food Panda, ganyan. And yung pag-acoustic ng mga songs for fun, nagkaroon ng Boys Avenue. So for a time, I look at those businesses, I look at Boys Avenue, isipin ko, I could have done that. I had that idea. Pero hindi ko ginawa. So, looking back, no, parang why did it not happen for me and why it happened for other people? And that's really what I wanted to share in this particular episode. No? And that, kasi it for me, it really all boiled down to one thing. And it's the same thing that built everything you see today. You're listening to this podcast. It started with that. You're probably listening to this on a device or on a phone. How that created started with the same thing. And do you know what that thing is? Not really a thing, but do you know what that is? It's belief. It's belief. Now, you're listening to this podcast because at one point in time, at least one person said, siguro it would be nice to have an on-demand radio on your device or on your phone. You're listening to this phone because at one point someone thought it was possible for people to get connected even though they're not face-to-face. Kahit na may telepono, even though the telephone is not connected. They believed it was possible. For me, I didn't believe that lip-syncing to Backstreet Boys and putting it on a video would be funny, and that I didn't believe that people would find it relevant. So I didn't do it. I didn't believe that people will find acoustic sounds to be awesome. But yeah, Boys Avenue did believe, so they did the videos. And of course, got them to where they are. And the idea of a delivery service, I didn't believe that it was viable. But people did. Is it nila possible to? This is actually possible. We believe this is possible. And from that belief comes reality. Diba? They did. So for me, when you believe, and when you start with belief, start believing that that things are possible for you. Paths and opportunities start to open up. And then, like you're saying, once upon a time, there was no podcast naman eh. Pero some people believe na possible siya. Some people believe na possible magka-phone. Diba? Kaya nagawa yung mga phones and all the tech that we have because at one point, people didn't believe that it was possible, pero at one point, biglang, pwede palang ganun. Because people believed in it. I'll give you some examples na medyo, and for some, it might ring true. No? Pero when you were in school, did you ever have that experience that you're trying to study, ang hirap-hirap na subject, and then you told yourself, hindi ko naman kaya ipasa to eh. So in a belief level pa lang, sabi mo na hindi mo na siya kaya ipasa. So of course, coming from that belief or coming from that story, we talk about stories in one of the episodes. Coming from that belief, yun yung magdidictate ng actions mo. Hindi naman ako papasa eh. So ano yung corresponding action mo? Mag-aaral, I won't waste time. And yung corresponding result, syempre is, hindi ka papasa or you'll get a low grade. No? Conversely, there are people na hindi nag-aaral pero mataas yung nakuha nila. And for one, apart from other things, for one, malaking factor doon is that they believe. They trusted and they believed in themselves that they know the material at heart, that they can, that they know the answer. So walang gigil. So when the test comes, you just answer, focus on what they can answer, and then usually they get good results. Not all, of course, not 100% of the time, pero I hope you're starting to see what I mean. No? And really, I wanted to thank one of my coaching students for this idea, because this whole idea of belief came from one of our coaching calls. No, na parang, so I had this experience of coaching someone who basically she was feeling down. She was trying to test the viability of her business idea. So, rewind muna tayo when we first got to talking, and she wanted to pursue this business idea. Now, she was super passionate and clear sa mind niya what she wanted to create. And I guess looking back at that moment, I could definitely say at that moment she believed. She had that belief na what she was doing was something relevant, something helpful, and something that she really wanted to do. None of a sudden, all these opportunities opened up to help her make that happen. Parang she started talking about it, and then a foreign potential investor parang told her, that's a good idea, let's talk more about it. She didn't know much about starting a new business, but she was able to get in touch with a business mentor who was really able to help her. Collaborations with people who know their target market or who know her target market, collaborations started to pop up. And all these opportunities coming from that moment, sabi niya, shucks, possible pala to, pwede kong gawin to. Before, naisip na niya, okay kaya siguro mangyari to. But the moment that she actually believed that it was possible for her to create a business, that's when opportunities open up. That's when she started taking action. So during this process, we got to talking, and part of the research kasi is she started speaking with a lot of people who are in the same line of business, people who can have businesses, so may financials involved. So she started talking to more and more people to really see the viability of this idea. And that's when she actually started to feel down. Na parang when she would get questions, she would start to doubt the idea and even doubt herself then. So one time we got to talking when she was medyo feeling low. And yan, yung kinukwento niya, nakausap ko na si ganyan, tapos parang more questions pop up. And for me, while she was sharing her experience and what she was feeling, it was clear for me what was happening. Then she stopped to believe that it was possible. So all these obstacles suddenly became reasons for her not to continue. Di ba? Ay, hindi pala feasible to. Sinubukan na pala ni ganyan. So these obstacles started to become parang things na, ay, sige, wag na lang. Parang reasons for her not to continue. Yun. And in that moment, it was clear for me, yung it was clear for me, siguro the words coming to mind is the power. No? It's clear for me the power of anchoring in a strong and genuine belief. Kasi ang lakas ng nagagawa ng belief kapag, if you're coming from that belief that things are possible, and ang lakas na nagagawa when you start to believe that things are not possible. Talagang you find ways to bring down like your idea or what you're doing. No? Kasi in that moment, nung nag-usap kami, when we raised clarity on that, no, na parang sabi ko, I feel like based on what you're talking to me, it looks like you're stopping, you've stopped believing. No? And sabi naman niya, I think that's the case then. No? So when we raised clarity on that was what's happening, she started to rethink na, wait lang, possible to. Diba? We go back to how we talked about nung una, we talked about her passion, we talked about why she wanted to do it, and then she started to see again that it was possible. And suddenly these things that were originally obstacles became parang challenges to overcome. Okay, sige, challenge mo na to. Sige, then we'll take it as feedback and we'll see how we can navigate through this. No? We started to see possibilities rather than obstacles, all because we made a shift on whether or not we believed that this was something that we could do. No? And I'm happy to say naman na as of today, no, she continues to go and make that vision a reality. No? So but I was really reminded in that moment how strong belief can be. For me in particular, I remember in a couple of episodes, I shared the idea of how things started to change for me when I started to believe that I was an entrepreneur. Dati kasi, as I said, di ba, I only, sabi ko, I will consider myself an entrepreneur only if I have a client na. But when I started believing that I was actually an entrepreneur, I gave myself that permission. That was when things started to go. Even as a Facebook ad strategist, for me to believe that I was worthy of all the successes that were coming to me. When I believed that it was possible to actually make dati ang target ko lang basta ma-surpass ko yung income ko when I was working, which was around 30K a month. Nakatingin mga 35, sabi ko, yay, life is great, ganyan. Not really realizing that we can actually go beyond. And it was when I started with the help of friends and I started realizing na kaya palang mag 100K, 200K. It started a shift in me. Now seeing myself and believing that this was possible. And I can tell you so many other kwento of how belief was really a strong driving force for things to happen. Now, but I guess in your own experience, you would start to see this, no? That things have been possible for you simply when you started to believe. No? Oh, and by the way, yung that student na nagpe-prepare ng business plan, she's actually soon preparing to present in front of potential investors na. Diba? So it's really coming from ang lakas ng nagagawa ng belief. And for myself, another personal thing siguro was, syempre I got busy with work, ang dami kong ginagawa. I had a son, and because of time and responsibilities, I wasn't really spending a lot of quality time with my son. I believe that nagkukulang ako as a dad. So nangigigil ako to get work done, para to get work done, to hand off work, para masabi ko sa sarili ko na I can spend time with my son and I can be a good dad. But it was nakakapagod. It showed in the quality of work, ganyan. And then, syempre, I was reminded of the Be Do Have when our first episode. And I started to believe that I was a good father. I was a good father regardless of what I was doing with my work. And that belief, nawala yung giggle for me. And with the giggle being gone, parang mas mas na-develop ko yung relationship ko with my son. I actually had more time to spend with him without having to sacrifice the quality of work and the time I spend at work. No? Kasi it came from the belief The belief that I was not a good dad, ang laki ng impact niya on how I was being a dad and how I was working. And at the same time, when I made that shift, the belief that I was actually a good dad helped my relationship and helped my work na. Pero syempre reality check tayo. Okay? I've been talking, syempre baka some of you are thinking fluff yung belief, ganyan. Reality check tayo. Just believing is obviously not enough to make things happen. We're not saying that just because you believe, I believe I'll have $1 million pesos today, doesn't mean it will happen. Just believing is not enough. But what I can tell you, and this is something I feel strongly about, if you disagree, well, okay lang. But what I can tell you is that not believing in a certain outcome, not believing in yourself, not believing in whatever, not believing is enough to ensure that what you're aiming for or what you want to create will not happen. Kasi like in the mental model pa lang, if you don't believe that will happen, why will you strive for it? Diba? Kung alam mong basketball ka, alam mo hindi mo kayang talunin yung kalaban mo, bakit ka pa susubok? Diba? And in that process, hindi ka na talaga susubok. And matalo. So yes, just belief is not enough. But not believing is enough for you not to be able to get the results that you want. So to end this particular episode, to drive home that idea, one of my favorite scenes dun sa Star Wars, I think it was the 5th, try ko inisip yung kung ano yung title ng 5th, pero anyway, the 5th episode of Star Wars, that was when Luke Skywalker went to the Dagobah system to train with Yoda, hinanap si Yoda, then to train to be a Jedi. And then, in one of his trainings, parang sinabi ni Yoda, using the Force, i-lift mo yung, kasi nag-crash yung yung jet niya sa lagoon. Sabi niya, using the Force, i-lift mo yung jet mo. So, yun, he tried using the Force. But hindi siya lumipad. And worse, mas nag-sink pa siya sa lagoon. So, napikon si Luke Skywalker. So, ang ginawa ni Yoda, pumunta siya sa lagoon and then nilift niya with using the Force, nilift niya yung spaceship o yung jet ni Luke. And then si Luke was watching Yoda, watching his jet flying, na dati nasa lagoon lang, was now flying, and then amazed siya. And then sabi niya kay Yoda, wow, I can't believe it. Sabi ni Yoda sa kanya, and that's why you failed. So check nyo yung it's a good check then if you've been aiming for something, whether it's money, property, personal goal, relationship, anything. If it's not happening for you, especially if it's been a while, siguro what I would want to recommend is to check your belief around it. Number one, do you believe that that's possible? Ang dali sabihin ng 1 million, manalo ako ng loto. Sana manalo ako ng loto. But do you actually believe that it's possible? Number 2, if you want, for example, yung mga, sana magkaroon ng bagong bahay, bagong kotse, bagong boyfriend, girlfriend, asawa, if it's not happening, number 1, do you believe it to be possible? And number 2, do you also believe that you're worthy of it? It comes with belief. Right? So I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of this. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Stay safe, everybody, and have an awesome day.